Okay. They call this the cold open, John. It doesn't get any colder than what we just watched in that fourth quarter. That's a cold close. A cold close to a close open to a cold open. Cold close to a cold open.
No, keep going.
Yeah, and that's the word. My brain's not really processing what I just witnessed because I thought we were going to have a few days off, John. Now we got to go back to that dump, Philadelphia. Let's talk about it.
11 points. 11-point fourth quarter, Jimmy. I don't know what to tell you.
There's nothing to say.
We're gonna go over all of it. It's me.
No, that's the show.
Jimmy. It's
ugly.
It's ugly. It's ugly from my mentions. It's ugly from the chat.
It's always ugly in your mentions, though. I've been in them.
It's ugly. That people get mad, but they know they can get. Well, no. I'm saying most people know they could. I'm the angry shoulder to cry on. You know, the amount of people that are getting benched and cut after this game is several. Derek White gone. Mazzulla fired.
Tatum shouldn't have came back. Tatum, what was that?
Awful. Bad night. Anyway, we're gonna do it all. Jimmy Toscano, John Zanis. We'll get some Bobby Manning. We'll hear from Joe Mazzulla. And you know what? I want Joe to get angry tonight. We'll see what happens. Garden Report starts now.
Always has to be a shot at somebody.
I know.
They're never clean.
They have to run. That's the only shot they have.
They do it for 82 games. We're about to find out.
He already has shown what he's capable of.
Did surprise me. I thought we were going to hang in there.
This makes me think that we do need to be humble.
I actually think you're the only one who deserved that beating.
I'm back. Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, we got him. We got him.
You talk a lot about the turn of the quarter. They hit 5 threes at the end of the third there. It feels like things started to shift a little bit. How much of this was defense? How much of it was offense in the second half?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think, we obviously, had some back-to-back turnovers that led to threes. We had some empty possessions on the offensive rebound that led to some of their shots there. So I think the game is connected in that, and I thought it was a little bit of both.
Jack? Oh, John, I'm sorry.
Beyond the missed shots, Jayson just 2 field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. I mean, it seemed like the offense really just kind of bogged down a little bit. What was happening?
We weren't getting stops and then taking it out of the basket. And then obviously kind of when it's a couple possession game, you want to, execute and try and get some good shots there.
And when you guys were getting in the paint against Embiid, it seemed like it wasn't just like a drive, draw, and kick. It was like almost like guys didn't want to challenge him. What was going on with Embiid when he was in the middle defensively? And did you guys not see any paths to the rim there?
We'll go back and watch it. I think at the end of the day, you're just looking for the best shot in every possession. So if the guys felt like they could have laid it in, I thought they did. JT got a layup on him. I thought JB drew a foul there on him, and we had some great kickouts. So we'll take a look at it, but you trust the guys to just make the right play.
You guys have done this a number of times now over the years where you have a chance to close out a series at home and can't capitalize on it. The other part of it is that you then often go on the road and find success. What do you do over the next couple of days to bounce back, kind of regroup from this and give it another go?
Same thing as you always do. Just tomorrow we'll look at the possessions that we have to get better at. And, I think, there was a lot of good there. As I said, it was 13 with 10 to go. And, we can learn how we got to that point, and then we can learn how to be better in those situations. So it's the same process. Look at those possessions and get better, get ready for the next one.
Jack?
Joe, you said part of it is just you guys didn't get stops, so you're taking the ball to the basket. What did you see defensively that led to that a little bit? I know Embiid had a string of buckets in the third quarter, and then when you can't get stops, what's the key to executing better to try to break that streak of momentum?
Yeah, they got hot from 3. We left Grimes a couple of times. Paul George hit one. Maxey hit another one there. Edgecombe hit one. So they got hot from 3 there. They're a dangerous team when they do that. But either way, we just have to, just work to get stops and execute the other end.
Kata's had trouble eliminating foul trouble throughout this series. Is there anything that you can contribute that to, or is there something that he needs to work on in the postseason?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, he had another backcourt one today, which can in there, and then had a great defensive possession, but kind of had his jersey there. So I think it's just he's going to get a couple, just being involved in two-man actions with Embiid and Maxey. With the high frequency, you're going to get some there. So you have to try to take away the ones that you can control.
You've talked this series about cautioning about Grimes getting going. What did you see in terms of his ability to play off Embiid and find a rhythm tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's it, right? So that's, Embiid puts pressure on the rim, forces help, and then, you have to be able to read rotations there. And you hit one tough one coming off a three-pointer. We fouled him twice on two of them, and then one came off of a double team and we just didn't make the rotation. So, those are the things that we just have to make those reads, but take away the ones that I think the four-point play came off offensive rebound. One came off an ATO, so we just got to clean those up.
So it seemed like the body language as the fourth quarter progressed got worse and worse. Guys kind of just seemingly frustrated, giving up when they didn't get a foul call. Like, what happens mentally when it just seems like you guys can't score and it seems like either you guys are hitting threes and everything is great, or you guys have a rough offensive night and there's a sense of kind of stepping back. I mean,
we missed layups too. I mean, we came out of a timeout and missed a layup. Made a drive, missed a layup. I don't think it was necessarily from the threes. I think it was just, have an understanding of we were in a good situation and then just didn't execute, and so we just have to be able to bounce back from that. So, I think when you have empty possession and at the other end you're not getting stops, it just gets frustrating.
Joe, you talked about before the game expecting their best effort with you guys with a chance to close things out. How much of this was that effort they gave and you guys maybe having an off night?
I think it was both. I mean, I think you have to give them credit. Like I said, I thought they played a great game. Went on a run in the middle of the third quarter, played a good fourth quarter. And then, we played great up until that point. And then, I think they made more plays, down the stretch.
Embiid did have that stretch in the third that kind of stabilized him a little bit, and it was mostly in the paint. You talk about like finding Grimes stuff. What's the fine line in terms of sending help, allowing him to kind of take over the game physically like that? How do you kind of balance those things?
You got to pick and choose what you're willing to live with, and it kind of depends on the situation of the game and how you're playing offense at the same time. I think that's where the game is connected there. So I think we had some empty possessions, 2 live ball turnovers that led to some of those, and then you have to pick and choose with what you're going to do.
Final question, Noah.
Joe, what's your message to the team immediately after a game like this where you guys still have control of the series, but obviously you guys wanted to close it out tonight? Like, how do you kind of communicate with them directly after this?
Just have an understanding, perspective. It wasn't all bad. We played solid basketball, and then let's focus on the stuff that we have to get better at and be more consistent in those things.
Not mad, John.
To Philly. Thanks.
Not the angry Joe you were hoping for.
Not quite.
So we'll do it for him.
When Joe gets when Joe's respectful of the media's questions, it means he feels humbled a little bit. And this is what this was. No matter what they did, no matter what they tried, no matter who they had out there, it wasn't really working for them at all. And I don't know what happened, Jimmy. It felt like this was a game they had comfortably. And just all of a sudden, Philly just flipped the script, turned up the intensity.
This is a momentum game. It was a momentum game.
But they turned up the intensity, it feels like.
Yeah.
And they weren't ready for it.
No, they weren't. I think that's one way to put it. I think in that third quarter, you hung on because Tatum got hot, and I think he gave you maybe 10 in that third quarter. But Philly had climbed back into it. They were too close for comfort, for a lot of this one, and certainly eventually they got to the point where they made a little bit of a run. In that fourth quarter, the Celtics, I haven't seen a team go that cold. I mean, John, they couldn't even score from the free throw line. Tatum couldn't even hit the free throws at that point in the game. My question, and this is one of the things that I was kind of screaming at the TV about, and then by the time it happened, it was too late. In game 4, John, who would you say the best player was out there? The last game in Philly. You guys were talking about him
for the Celtics.
Yeah, for the Celtics.
Who's Tatum?
Okay, second. Sorry,
Why are you
second
making
best
me do
player.
this?
Pritchard. The answer is Pritchard. Noah
Well,
came
Pritchard was-
on.
Sure.
Noah wanted to come on, and everyone wanted to rub it in my face. Even though I've always been a Pritchard guy, by the way, I don't think I'm not taking any heat for that.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm bringing that up is because he's coming off an awesome game, and he was nowhere to be found in the fourth quarter when Philly was starting to go on a little bit of a run there. You needed offense. That the team was so freaking flat. And he doesn't go into the game until like the 4-minute mark, let's say. And you're already down double digits at that point, and it was probably a little bit too late. If you're Joe Mazzulla, how do you not go to him a little bit sooner in that fourth quarter? Try to spark the offense. I mean, he's coming off the bench for you. He's instant offense. Nobody can get hotter faster than he can. And instead, you just suffered with Derek White again. And Derek White's continuing to miss open shots, three-pointers that have to go in. I mean, these are game-turning, three-point shots. So that's one of my, if I have one major criticism to start this thing off, that's what I'm thinking about is which guys you're going to go to if you're Joe Mazzulla in this fourth quarter. And I love Derek White just as much as the next guy, but something's off with his shot right now, and he's really a liability out there. If I have to stick with him, but Pritchard's got to find a way to get into that game because nobody was giving. Jaden gave you 0, Brown gave you 0, White's given you 0 basically all series and beyond. And then you didn't get anything from the bench tonight. Shireman, even the starters, Hauser, Kate is in foul trouble. Pritchard was really your only option. They just didn't give him an opportunity.
I would take a victory lap over this Derek White situation, Jimmy, just because of the heat you and I caught for the first year that he was here.
Mm-hmm.
And
kind of looking like that guy right now,
doing all the little things well. And you and I were like, yeah, but this guy sucks. He can't hit a shot. Like, this is terrible. Like, he's barely playable if he's going to, like, I love the little stuff, but he can't shoot this badly. He has to shoot a little better,
Right.
And everyone's like, you guys don't know ball. And now my mentions are just like, get this bum off my team. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to take a victory lap over Derek White because I love Derek White.
There's also a middle ground here.
I've come to love Derek White, and I appreciate fully how important he is and how noticeable it is when he's off the court, how everything kind of dips, how he keeps everything together, how he's the glue on offense, on defense.
We get it. Right.
But I mean, like, you can really see it. Like,
I
he's
feel like
not
we have
there
to
and you're like,
preface it.
man, they need the stability, but it is you give it to him in the corner and it's just a wide open three.
Right.
These things
Two
were
of those
layups.
in the fourth.
These things
One
were
was in his
layups before, and he's killing them right now. And now you're back into Marcus Smart territory. You're in Marcus Smart, Rob Williams territory with the offense.
Marcus Smart's doing his thing right now.
What I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying.
In practice, you've got two guys who you can't rotate the ball to because they're just not going to hit shot. Like, Kata's useless out there. Embiid's just floating, doing whatever when Kata's on the floor. Offensively, he's a problem on his own. It's a bigger problem when you have a guy like White out there who can't hit the side of a barn. And that's really messing with the offense because the spacing is bad and you just don't have enough shooters on the floor at this time. And what's happening? ISO.
Mm-hmm.
It just got so bad. The offense got so stagnant, just forcing their way. And all we get is Tatum and Brown driving to the basket with everybody watching them, trying to shove their way in there with forearms. Like both those guys, especially Brown, could have gotten called for about 75 offensive fouls tonight. Like, just trying to force their way into something. And you know what? Philly's done a good job with them. They were picking them up. They had, Jaylen got picked up full court by Grimes there, had that like weird one where it went on the backcourt, that prayer. Oubre's done a good job on him all series. It's not there
Grimes
for them when
is
they
all over him.
Yeah. So bad, a lot of bad. And they're saying Joe shouldn't start next game. I mean, Derek should start this game. I won't go that far, but I will say late in the game when they needed offense and they subbed Hauser and Pritchard in for Hauser, that was Joe showing no balls. What he should have done there is subbed Pritchard in for White and said, sorry, Derek, It's not working anymore. Left Hauser and Pritchard out there and just gone bombs away. Seeing if you could, knock a couple down and get back in it quick. You were down 8, 9, 10 points at that point, but he didn't. He subbed out a shooter for another shooter, and he left Kate on the floor. And
he did it too late.
And it didn't make sense. You needed to go to Vucevic, and you needed Pritchard on the floor, and you did it too late. So bad recognition, but I don't criticize Joe because I don't know.
And Embiid was going at White on the other end too. It wasn't like White was doing anything defensively in this game.
Yeah.
Embiid had his way out there with anybody that they tried to put on him. So
this is one of those rare times I feel okay saying, yeah, I don't think Joe did it right today. Like, I don't think Joe read it right today. We get it. I'll put it up once, but please stop spamming the chat with this or I'll ban you. Okay. Six, you can't. Enough. We got it. It's good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying don't start Derek White either, but I am saying Joe Mazzulla typically is good at it, but Derek White seems, and I get it. Again, I feel like we have to preface this every single time. We understand why Derek White's important to the team. And over the years, he's earned that right to sort of stay out there through the shooting slumps. And apparently Mazzulla and White are obviously besties too. They're going, hanging out together, going to WWE wrestling matches, and certainly there's a strong relationship there.
Like I said, there's Pedroia vibes here.
I was going to say,
Pedroia
I don't want
Tito vibes. Yeah,
right. I don't want to jump to that. Right. I don't want to jump are they too close where Joe can't sort of separate there when maybe you do need to make a tough coaching decision. But if Derek White's hurting you offensively, which he has been, and you have a guy in Payton Pritchard who's instant offense, that seems to me like a pretty obvious switch in a time of need for offense. When like I said, defensively, I know how great of a player Derek White is, but it didn't matter tonight. It really didn't. Philly was doing the right things with Embiid. And then, in Boston was trying to double Embiid when they could. They had to try to help because there wasn't a good 1-for-1 matchup. Obviously, Kata got into foul trouble. Yeah, Philly, of course. Grimes gave them like 20 points tonight, which it is what it is. But
go ahead. Sorry, there's so many things now. It's all flooding out of me.
Right. If I'm just looking at what the Celtics could have done differently, I'm looking at matchup based substitutions by Joe. I don't. I've mentioned it already with Pritchard, and you made a good point. Do Pritchard for White. I think it needed to happen a lot sooner in that fourth quarter than when Pritchard got into the game. And I think you did need just to start bombing away from threes at that point because you weren't generating offense inside. The refs were swallowing the whistle. You saw Tatum getting frustrated out there, barking at the referees for not calling it. Then he gets called, and what's he do? He misses his free throws anyways. Brown couldn't do anything offensively for you, and you got that score that you got. Celtics, 113-97. And how many points in that fourth quarter did you say? 11?
11. Bobby did not pick Celtics in 6. Bobby picked the sweep. Everyone else had 5. I had 6.
And when Bobby picked the sweep, everyone said, damn it.
Damn it.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it. We did the wrong thing. Is there anybody more consistently wrong about shit than Bobby?
No, it's actually quite impressive. Speaking of, here's a super chat, John. I know you had Sixers in 6. Did you expect 2 bonehead losses like this?
Yeah, I did. I expected letdowns.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
That's what they're known for. Jay King said it.
I wrote it exactly this way. I said they're going to drop one of the first 2 at home, and I almost said they're going to fail to close out at 5. Like I was this close to actually calling the losses.
You didn't say
but I didn't. But I said they dropped one of the first 2 at home. I thought they would. I thought it would go exactly this way. They'd play their worst games coming off their best games, and in their 2 best games of the series, games 1 and games 4, and followed by worst games. And that's it.
Got to have that killer instinct, and every year it's a different team and a different identity, and certainly this team's identity this year has been completely different than past years because of, I think, the expectations that were set on them and their attitudes and their mentalities led by Jaylen Brown. So I'm not saying that this is who they are, this is who they always have been, but historically the organization, and they've had different iterations of teams, have come out flat in home games, have come out flat in elimination games. You know, it doesn't mean that they haven't moved on at some point, but you had a golden opportunity tonight, John. You look around the Eastern Conference, Detroit's down 3-1. The other two series are locked, I think, in 2-2 ties. Looks like Knicks are going to win tonight, but you had a chance to just beat this Sixers team that really doesn't belong in the same, tier as you, and have like at minimum 4 days off before your next round opponent, whoever that is. And they dropped the ball tonight, and now it becomes a series, and now it's gonna feel like a must win in Philly, because if you let Philly win that game and all of a sudden they've pushed you to the brink and they've got the momentum, and that tells me that Embiid and Maxey are clicking now, and all of a sudden you're on your heels a little bit. So they put themselves in this position. They've done it before. I still have the Celtics coming out of this series, but there's some troubling little trends that are starting to form, or that have formed. And, unfortunately a big one is Derek White, because he used to be a very, 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 very dependable third scoring option on this team, and now he's not at all.
He's not. And again, everyone's emotional. You guys are saying some things you're probably going to regret. The game itself frustrated me. No question about it. But I'm not making like these declarative, like, Brown's terrible, White's got to get off the team. Like, we definitely have to chill a little bit. It's just,
yeah, I'm not saying that. Right.
No, not you. I'm saying that the fans have gotten out here.
Right.
It was a bad game.
Fans are going to be emotional. That's why they come
played
here.
with their food. Yeah, played with their food a little. You're going to be emotional. You're going to vet, and we like that. We're fine with that.
It's a safe space here.
We support. It's absolutely a safe
Celtics
space.
Twitter is not a safe space, but the Garden Report, safe space.
Safe space. And again, this game was crazy. They were 63-50 there in that third quarter. They took a 13-point lead. It felt like Philly might lay down, right? 63-50. And then they just kind of, traded basket for basket, let them hang around, let them get back into that game, and just gave up too many easy baskets there. 28-11 in that fourth quarter, man. I just can't begin to understand what happened there. Like, it just happened. And like, I almost have to watch it back, because they made 3 field goals, Jimmy. Like 3.
Yeah.
3. And two of them were back to back.
Them.
2 of them, I know, 2 of them were back-to-back Hauser threes, which again, I didn't understand why you took them out of the game. And then Keita made one down low, and one, I think, missed the free throw. That's it. Brown, 0 for 6 in the fourth quarter. An absolutely atrocious quarter by Brown. Atrocious.
Some bad shots too.
As soon as just dribble. You heard it there. Jayson Tatum, only 2 field goal attempts in 7:30. Brown played 10 minutes of that quarter. Tatum played 7.5. He always starts the fourth quarter the way it's worked here on the bench. Offense did not look good to start. When he got back in there, he just wasn't involved in the offense. It was very bizarre. 2 field goal attempts, 0 assists in that fourth quarter. Gave you absolutely 0. Derek White, 0 for 3. He played 10 minutes of that quarter. 0 for 2 from 3. Wide open corner threes. Good looks. They rotated open. That was that. Nothing out of that. So again, your best players, donuts in the fourth quarter. Absolutely just didn't show up.
And then what they do in the last play of the third quarter, John?
Yeah.
Forget that last play of the third quarter. Looks like Pritchard had an opportunity to. You want the ball in Pritchard's hands in those buzzer beating situations, and I think they swung it to. Did they swing it to Walsh or something ridiculous like that for an awful shot? It just didn't. A lot of things didn't make sense in that second half. And
they certainly did.
The Celtics certainly deserved to lose this game. It's just a shame. Like you said, they played with their food, and that's that. Somebody in the chat said it. With Embiid back.
Yeah,
Maxey being able to be arguably the best scorer on the court whenever at any moment's notice, and they've got some role players that are doing some work right now. Hey, they're closer to you than you thought
you want to admit. I'll say this, and we'll talk about it when we in just a minute. Pretty rough night for the Embiid makes them worse crowd. Okay, gotta say That was a pretty bad take last. I asked everybody on the panel, like, are you sure? Is everyone sure about this? You guys saw it. It didn't look good tonight. Are you sure, Embiid? It doesn't change this series? We'll talk about that in just a little bit. First off, we got to tell you about where Jimmy and I are going to take some lumps here. We want to tell you about our friends over at PrizePicks. And now we want to let you know that PrizePicks is an official daily fantasy sports partner of the NBA. That's right.
Love that.
Official. And the NBA playoffs are here. No better way to cash in on the high-flying hoops action than PrizePicks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means more when you are playing. Pick live squares during the NBA playoffs. You could win a trip for 2 to the NBA Finals. That's pretty cool. To enter, you just make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player pick during any part of the 2026 playoffs. Live player picks are made after a game is already in progress. And again, Jimmy and I, we do our best. We get involved here. You know how PrizePicks works. 2 to 6 player stat projections, more or less. Different sports, same game. Stack them if you like, as long as you're picking players from 2 different teams. However you want to play it, it's there for you. So go ahead and check it out. You see it right there. Download the PrizePicks app, code CLNS. Play 5, get 50. Once again, download the app, code CLNS. Play 5, get 50 when you sign up today. And again, if you do, and if you like this kind of thing, if it's your thing, no better place to do PrizePicks. Very fun, very intuitive. Jimmy and I, we do our best. We do our best. Doesn't always work out. We went head to head tonight.
Didn't work out tonight.
Boy. Let's see. Jimmy's been giving me. Oh, we
Definitely
got
want to go
Jaylen
back
first.
and
We'll
look
do
at
this.
it, but just owning our space, just not good enough overall from the Celtics tonight. So, the result was the result, but got to move on. Play in another couple days and get a chance to respond. So, we look at it, learn from it, and move forward.
John, you talked a lot about how important it is for you guys to be the harder playing team all season. Did you feel like you guys were the harder playing team tonight?
It's tough to say. I feel like we play hard. I also feel like they play hard as well. It just wasn't good enough from us. Wasn't good enough on my behalf. We just got to be better.
Jaylen, in those situations, what's that feel like from your perspective when you guys are having a tough time just finding a hoop? Does it feel like if you get one, you can keep going, break through? And how frustrating is that? And you guys have been in every one of these situations. Just your thoughts on heading now to Philly to try to close it out as well.
Yeah, just trying to find a rhythm and play through the physicality. It's playoff basketball, so, got to play through the physicality. So, tonight, I feel like they shot the ball better than us, which is doesn't happen a lot, but they shot the ball from 3 better than us, and we just gotta respond. It's the playoffs. Payton thought that you guys kind of let the game slow down. It was the type of game that Embiid kind of appreciates. Did you feel that way too? And what do you guys need to do to change that in Game 6? Yeah, for sure. Definitely thought. We kind of played. We could have played a bit faster. You know what I mean? When they score, just take the ball out the net, get down the court, and just overall, just not good enough tonight. It just can't sum it up where. Just a lot of different areas, just not good enough. We'll watch it and we'll make sure that we'll come out. And we got to make sure we come out with the right energy, the right mindset, the right mentality on the road in Philadelphia. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Jaylen, it seemed like in the 6 minute, 7 minute mark when you guys weren't scoring, the body language got worse and worse. It just seemed like frustration, looking for fouls. Like, how do you prevent that? How do you play Celtic basketball even though shots aren't falling?
Yeah, got to play through it. Definitely some frustration, but just got to be better. Got to be better. It's not always going to go your way. So just be able to handle that and respond with maturity and be able to score the ball, make plays for others, et cetera, even when the rhythm is maybe not flowing in our direction. I feel like tonight we had a chance to win and pull away. We was up 13 and we didn't take advantage of it. So we're all to blame, but we just got to watch it and respond and get better and move forward.
Last two questions, Adam, and then Ian.
Jen, the tenor of these playoff series can change so suddenly. The feel of it, you obviously experienced basically everything the last 10 years. What's been the key you found in the past when there is kind of a moment like this where things seem a little unsettled, but you do have to regroup so soon? And what do you think has made you guys effective at doing that?
Yeah, just take a deep breath, relax, and get ready to go. Just have the right mentality and come out and execute your job. No need to put any extra pressure on ourselves. It's already, enough of that as it is. So just come out and play basketball and play the right way. I think that's what our mindset is, and that's what we got to do going forward. Tonight wasn't the best example of what we want to do, Celtic basketball. We didn't shoot the ball well. Maybe some frustration was there, et cetera. But, it's over with now. Got to move forward.
Jaylen, Joel with over 30, how has he impacted this series and specifically tonight? What made him so effective in the paint?
Yeah, I feel like he had too many easy baskets. We need to make him work. It was just too easy for him, even though we want to, we trust our guys to, guard certain matchups. You got to make it a little bit tougher. And tonight he got a lot of easy baskets, and I feel like that propelled him.
That is Jaylen Brown speaking at the podium after the Celtics loss. And I got to say, Jaylen always makes me feel a little better because he doesn't make excuses. When they play like ass, he just comes out and says, we played like ass. He says, I played like ass. And I do always appreciate that. It's not, the better team didn't win. It's not excuses. It's not. What are you doing, Jimmy?
Just listening.
Making noises?
Sensitive ears over there. I'm gonna call you out I'm gonna call you out now when you make a noise.
You should. It's like Bobby with the gong. I know I type
Bobby's
loud.
with the gong.
I'm a typer. I'm a typist. Loud typist. Celtics took the L. It wouldn't be fair to not finish what we started before that, Jaylen Reed, and let you know how badly Jimmy and I took. Jimmy and I took the L. Jimmy and I went head to head. PrizePicks. I don't know if any of you guys followed along.
Oh,
we're not gonna do it. We're gonna go Tatum instead.
We're not gonna do it. It's a sign.
Describe what went down over the last 7 minutes offensively. Obviously, uncharacteristic to miss that many shots over that span. And what did you just see offensively out there that prevented you from getting anything to go?
First of all, give them credit. They played well. A few looks that, we got that we felt good about that we just didn't make. Sometimes
this
that
is going to
happens,
be
but,
painful.
It's just tough.
Count is going to be off the
not
record.
Scoring at the rate you want to, it puts a lot of pressure on your defense, and they made some plays on that end.
I know part of it's just missed shots. You guys have talked about that, but when you are in that spot, when it is, you guys are missing a shot and they're coming down and just getting a bucket, what's the key to breaking that cycle when the offense does go as stagnant as it got laid on?
Getting a stop, first of all, that'll help. Not playing against a set defense, getting out in transition, finding advantages. But, it was a stretch where we weren't making shots and they were coming down and hitting shots and getting fouled, and we just kept having to play against a set defense. So getting stops would have helped for sure.
Sleep masks are on sale in the merch store, by the way. Anyone wondering? 30% off. Actually, sleep masks are not on sale.
Jason, how do you? It seemed like there was one play where you missed a layup, and it seemed like you thought you got fouled, and you kind of stopped, and everybody thought it was a foul, and then they just kept going. It seemed like the body language got worse and worse as you guys got more frustrated. How do you kind of hang in there when shots aren't falling, when times are difficult? It's obviously it's good to when threes are falling, everybody feels good, but when shots aren't falling.
Just lean on each other. That's what you got teammates for. Each guy has to be out there to pick each other up and just kind of move on to the next play. When we're at our best, we do that really well.
And what about nights like this? Why aren't you guys picking each other up, or what happens in nights like this?
I mean, there's a human element part of it, right? We're not perfect. You know, after each game, a win and or a loss, we just there's a lot of things that we look back on and talk about that we could be better at, and tonight's no different.
Payton mentioned when you guys went up by 13 points in the second half there, you guys maybe messed with the game a little bit, or got a little lackadaisical. Do you kind of agree with that assessment? How do you think you guys handled that point of the game for you guys?
Yeah, I agree with that. That was a critical point of the game, and you know, some plays that we just wish we could have back. You know, in that third quarter when we had the lead.
Last question.
Jayson, Embiid's presence tonight, was that a difficult for you in terms of establishing the tempo that they wanted to have in this game?
Yeah.
Nice.
Give him credit. He played well. He put a lot of pressure on us, especially on the defensive end. You know, we'll go back and watch the film and make some adjustments and be ready for Game 6.
Thanks, Jayson.
Thank you, Jayson Tatum. Short, sweet, honestly, fine. I got no problem with anything said there. Jayson Tatum at the podium. And again, that's everything that we're going to hear from these guys today. And that might have been the lowest count I can remember from Tatum.
Yeah,
He
it
was
wasn't
pretty quick and to the point.
He wasn't very wordy, so that was why.
Yeah, so I'm going to say a couple of different things. John's typing is annoying. You're right. You know what it is, though? I'm also the producer sometimes, and
Sometimes. That's funny. When I'm a producer, I don't type like that.
I know, but I'm communicating to the field. You know, I'm sometimes sending you messages and saying, "Shut up! Stop saying things that you're saying." When I get angry, I go a little Jim Carrey. You know, in Bruce Almighty. You know, yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault. I'll try to do better. Look, we got to do it. I've been saying we're going to do it, so we're going to do it because we got a couple things we're slightly embarrassed by. Number one was this.
Get it over with.
Oh,
you had Brown. Okay, I see. Yeah. See, my problem is I get too greedy with. I got to have 6 players. You know what I mean?
I always go 4 or 5. So it's hard to hit, but it's really hard to hit when 4 of them are wrong, Jimmy.
It is, but let me ask you a question. Out of everything you see on mine, is anything there that crazy? I just think some of the players,
the Brown 3-pointers Brown 3-pointers is crazy. The Tatum assists, you and I both liked it. He'd been passing great. I made a big deal about it on Twitter. People got mad that I said he was good.
Yeah.
Embiid, 6.5
What do you mean Brown
rebounds.
3-pointers is crazy? He had to hit 1 3.
It's not crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, it hit. I was going to say it would have been crazy if it didn't hit. Kada, you hit a tough one with Kada on the rebounds. Pritchard coming off that game, I get it. Again, the Derek White for me is stubborn at this point.
Right.
I'm riding it until something changes.
I just refuse.
Brown, I thought he was going to go off. Didn't happen. Tatum, I thought that was safe. Maxey, that's a green goblin. That was really easy. There's another thing we're a little embarrassed by. We had these shirts made because we were certain the crowd would be.
We're not embarrassed by this. It's bad timing, maybe, but
we were certain this was coming tonight.
You know what I say? I actually think it's actually a little bit of a blessing because now you can get a little bit more. Order them now, and you get more games out of them. No way I see it. Because guess what? At some point, you're getting Boston. It might not be tonight. Well, it's confirmed, not tonight. But it could be Thursday. It could be Saturday. But the opponent is getting Boston. The Knicks are getting Boston, or the Hawks are getting Boston, just like they asked for. And I still think these fans, including the Sixers, are going to eat their words. And I think you will hear "You got Boston" chant by the Celtics fans loud and proud in Philly if Boston pulls it off Thursday night. So I love this shirt. I like this. I like the design. I like the style. I like the nice shamrock in the middle. And I really like 30% off. Code GAP year. Makes a lot of sense. What are you laughing at?
I made the code. I made a funny gap year.
It's a great code. Love the code.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys want to check it out? There's new merch coming, and also
I don't have to do math and do like 13 more or something.
Yeah, there's you don't have to do math. There's new hard hats coming too. New and improved hard hats. So make sure you get in on that action as well. And again, you guys want to check it out, by all means, go ahead and do so. We're gonna bring in our man, Nope. Bobby, got him.
You got me?
We can hear you.
All right, perfect. We might as well do it live, right?
We'll do it live.
Do it. We'll do it live.
I mean, have you ever seen anything as equally shocking and expected as what went down here? I mean, we've just seen
are officially
this result.
0 for their last 37 in home closeout games.
No, they aren't.
No, they're probably, but they could be.
Close.
It sounded believable. I mean,
sounds believable.
They've done this pretty much every year, the Garden Report at some point. Miami, Milwaukee, bunch of different situations. This is just part of their DNA. As much great stuff is part of who they are, there's this too. And I think all of us feel that they're going to probably go down to Philadelphia and close this thing out, but they've made it harder on themselves. They put themselves in position to take on more wear and tear here. And worse, they've taken away a potential advantage from the Knicks, as New York will be looking to close their thing out Thursday as well. So they could have been sitting home watching that Game 6 play out in Atlanta. And instead, they're going to be trying to prevent a Game 7 in this series as well. And you let enough Sixers get going and build momentum, and especially the Embiid factor out of this game, it is going to be a tough one to win down there on Thursday. I think they will get it done, but so many things can happen in that situation. If you slip up at all, you're in a Game 7 on Saturday. So it's tough to watch. They've bounced back from losses a million times this year and in other seasons. So you're not concerned about this carrying over. But in the long term, John, you've mentioned it a ton during this series. They're looking like a make or miss team. And that big picture is the issue here, is that if the shots aren't falling, they don't look super resilient at the moment.
Facts, my dog. What happened with Embiid? The Embiid effect tonight, Bobby, was a little bit different than what you guys watched last game. Is it just simply he had to get a little reacclimated to the court after one game, or what?
Yeah, I don't think the Celtics were quick enough to get him off the ball in the fourth. I think they liked him taking the contested twos that he put up, and he was hitting them. One after another went in there, and he put Cade on an island. He looked comfortable in that matchup, and Celtics probably should have brought more help there. You understand why they don't, right? Because you don't want to free up Maxey and others, and the others were hitting threes in this game when they did bring help, so it put them in a little bit of a bind. But that's a concern as well, is that he looked like Embiid here. Like, that was vintage.
Not just that, he went to the bench with the knee thing, and when he came back to the court, he went right to the scorer's table. You also, what I haven't seen is, I haven't seen the classic huffing and puffing Embiid that you tend to see after he takes these breaks. He actually looks like he's handling the minutes perfectly fine, way beyond what was expected, not just in terms of contribution, but in terms of the minutes load. I don't think anybody expected him to come out here and put up a 33 in 8 spot tonight.
I didn't. I had less on PrizePicks.
There you go.
Yeah. We were wrong in a lot of ways, but this is a 39 minutes tonight after playing 32, 34, whatever it was in the last game.
Yeah, he came back for that second stint in the first quarter in the first game, and I watched his whole warm-up leading into that game, waiting to see if he was going to play or not, and there was a lot of huffing and puffing. There was a lot of discomfort on his face, so you're like, man, he's barely going to be gutting this thing out. Maybe he'll give them – I remember we were talking in the press room before that game. They were like, how many minutes is Embiid going to play tonight? And I was guessing 20, 25. As you mentioned, he pretty much goes a full workload there, just a little bit less. And then tonight, back to it. It doesn't seem to be affecting him at all, the surgery, at least. We'll see how the knee thing develops. Probably just bumped knees, and he was fine after it. He was probably even better. So that was a moment in the game where you're like, he's out, and Philly's just going to fold here. And instead, They hit 5 threes at the end of the third there on 6 possessions, and they were putting up shots in a hurry. They were the team that played with a better pace in the half court in this game, I felt like. And the one after another went down, and the Celtics didn't react fast enough. I think their defensive adjustments haven't come quickly enough in this series in the games they've lost. And Philly just got red hot, and it mounted so fast there. It was like 2-3 minutes left in the third until 4 or 5 minutes into the fourth, they were pretty much done. And it was a startling turnaround. And I think the most dispiriting thing, and again, we haven't seen these things carry over game to game with the Celtics when they've lost, when they've been at their worst. But man, did the energy just zap off the court after that stretch.
Like crazy.
On shoulders. You heard Gary asking about it.
Gary said it.
Body language just brutal.
Yeah, I noticed
2
that
missed
too.
Tatum free throws.
Yeah, John texted about it, right?
Yeah, they looked.
Yeah.
I
And then
saw
the
right away.
energy in the building just
dragging
completely
ass.
disappeared.
You could see they just weren't even getting back. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. Frustrating offense does that. That's their kryptonite. This takes the air out of them. When they can't score, it really affects their impact. I mean, their ability to bounce back. It impacts them. More than anything else really does there. And so that was tough. That was a tough look all around. I don't necessarily think that there's carryover here, but again, you've put yourself in a precarious position because it's game 6 there with the possibility of them sending it back to, that's
Are you
why you got
concerned
to
about
close
that
this
game?
out. No, I still think they win in 6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think what you've seen in the series. Oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
I was gonna say I don't know if concern is the word, but it's foolish to just ignore what you just watched and say, "Oh yeah, they'll be fine in Philly." I mean, why? I mean, you just watched Embiid do whatever the hell he wanted out there. You watched the Celtics completely collapse in the fourth quarter, and once again, Bobby and me and John talked about it basically at the start of the show. Your third scoring option was nowhere to be found in this game in Derek White, and then your fourth scoring option was ignored in the fourth quarter, and Payton Pritchard doesn't come into the game until 4 minutes left.
That
and
was tough.
John and I were both saying how it was John's original point, but Pritchard probably should have came in for White much earlier in that fourth quarter. Instead, he comes in for Hauser, and by that point, it's too little too late. And White's not giving you anything right now.
I would have gone. You got to bench White, and I would have benched Keita there too, and I would have gone Vucevic and spread the floor. You had to get moving on offense. Joe waited way too long. If White can't hit shots when you've got him and Keita out there, you're dead. It's like I said, I compared it to the old days, Bobby, of Marcus Smart and Rob Williams. There's only so much you can do with that offense when you've got two guys here that really can't, that can be ignored. And Derek White is fully into, that's who he is right now. He can almost be ignored. I mean, those two looks in the fourth quarter are just wide open threes, and you see it. It just he's
the
in his
corner
own
went
head.
off the offensive rebound. Have to have it.
You got to get that, man. You got to knock it down. And Hauser, they had 3 buckets, 3 field goals in the fourth quarter, Bobby. 2 of them were Sam Hauser threes. You subbed in Payton Pritchard for Hauser. It made no sense. So again, this was, I don't know if Joe, ride or die with the guys who got you there sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or, Embiid was cooking and he just didn't want easy buckets. So he throws Vucevic in the game. I think you just got to figure it out. You got to double. You got to just make Philly hit the shots, but you needed some shooters and some space on the floor in the fourth quarter when the offense was going so badly, and he just didn't give it to him. So I think I think Joe's got to eat this one a little bit. It's on the players, but I don't think Joe did a good job here.
Yeah, and they kept that Tatum center card in their pocket here, probably a game too long. I know Embiid's a possibility there. You could put Tatum on Embiid and have Hauser and White on the floor late. I mean, Cater's not giving you much here. You had the alley-oop finish in the fourth, which was nice, but fouling continues. He didn't serve as any deterrent to Embiid out there. So you could slide Tatum onto that matchup and have him just guard Embiid facing up. I know he'll probably try to back him down, but you can help, as you probably should have anyway there, and do some other things and try to play with more shooting and speed and space him out like you did here in Game 7 in 2023. That's probably something they're going to have to do to some degree in Game 6 because the center play just hasn't been good enough on either end for them in this one. And they're trying 3 guys, and none of them are playing great. So I think it's time to go Tatum center. And that probably could have helped a little bit here tonight because, again, it wasn't Embiid bodying you in the paint and dunking over you. It was him throwing up 15-footers and knocking them down again and again. And
He
know,
did
I
abuse
think you're
Vucevic down low a couple of times.
Yeah, and he forced Kate into some foul trouble there. So you're balancing a lot of
That
different
fourth
things.
foul from Keita unlocked Embiid. I thought that was another stupid foul by him. Stupid foul takes him out early in that third quarter. Just got to stop playing stupid. It's just overly aggressive on that play. You just got to go there and just stand your ground and go straight up. And instead, he just throws his body into a guy driving to the basket. Obvious foul, gone. Early on, Embiid starts to cook there in that fourth quarter. I thought that was a bit of a momentum shift as well. So I'm going to put a bit of this on Keita also for he's like, you learn at some, stop being a friggin' bonehead, man. Like it's really frustrating here.
Backcourt foul. I mean, Joe called them out
The
on it, but,
backcourt foul is
doesn't
ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
that was a concern all year.
You put a guy on the line with that. It's just complete lack of discipline.
Brutal series for him. And again, those are the two things, right? Win or lose in this series, forget about it. Like, they're probably going to win this thing. Are they going to win a championship? Probably not with Keita and White playing like this. Like,
that's
those
the
guys
thing. The
gotta be
margin
better.
for error, the deeper you get.
Oh, we lost him. We lost him. The margin for error is much smaller in the playoffs.
No, it was planned. It was planned. I had to adjust something. I wanted to make a point emphatically and then knock myself off the screen for effect.
Well done.
Hey, poof. That was it. That's what I wanted to do. I want to let everyone at home know, because we do have a few of these and we want to get to a few of these. You can support the Garden Report through Super Chat donations. You go there, you donate, you make a comment. We'll put it on the screen. Some exceptions. I don't want you to be mean or vulgar or disrespectful, but just regular stuff. Yeah, we'll throw it out there. So let's throw out a few of these super chats here. This is yet another loss after yet a second blowout win. We fans expected more second half effort. Wasn't there. Desert Vulture. Yeah, that's what we said. Their two worst games have come after their two best games. And that's something that you've seen historically from the Celtics in the playoffs. And they've been bad with these home closeouts after, running a team out of its own building, coming home to close it out and not doing it. Not great. Benjamin, 40% from the floor and 28 from three. This team sucks.
Yeah,
took the words right out of my mouth.
In this series.
Ben coming back. Okay, so Ben, what I said, most people are, just venting a little bit, but they don't mean it. Ben might mean it. Not bad basketball. Joe can't coach. Fire him.
So that was a quote from Joe saying not bad. Didn't think he played bad basketball tonight.
Yeah, he was mad about that quote.
Do that after the losses, yeah.
Mostly. JB needs to be better offensively. Would have liked to see more Walsh and Baylor minutes. We needed energy. Agreed. Should have played PP over White. Hey, I absolutely needed energy when you see it lacking. But Bobby, are they so terrified of Shireman on Maxey that they're just not going to play him? That's it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
Watch.
I think that was the reason Walsh started the rotation in the rotation over Shireman to begin this series. Now, I've liked when Shireman's been out there and he hasn't.
But everyone always says, Bobby, how great two-way player Shireman's been this year and how he never makes a mistake. He's this, he's that. And then when it comes down to it, in the most important games of the year, he can't get any burn. So which one is it? Because you guys are pumping Shireman, and by the way, rightfully so. But
I'm not saying I oppose him playing. I just think that's their mentality here. I think that's why they're not going.
But I hate that, Bobby. I understand playing different matchups or maybe giving one guy more burn or more run over somebody else. Sometimes you
Bruins
can't
win.
be. Yes. Really?
Yes. Pasta.
Wow.
Pasta.
Stay alive.
Bruins Swayman made a good save, and then
2-1 in overtime.
They just won.
Oh,
they
sweet.
just won. Let me tell
Nice
you,
little
and
move.
look, if it costs us some viewers,
Suck
I'm
it,
okay with
Buffalo.
it. I want to let you know,
You've
turn
heard
it
enough Celtics gripes.
Guys, I'm doing a promo. Go to Bruins Ringside right now. If you want Bruins talk, you can leave this miserable Celtics hellscape and go over. And if you were watching both, or
We'll let you.
when this is done and you've let it all out, that's fine too. You can head over and watch Bruins. It's all in the family here. Evan Marinovsky is going to be out there, maybe I think with Connor. Bruins Ringside. Bruins beat live right now. Bruins Sabres. Bruins win.
Let's
they
go,
extend
Bruins.
the series. Buffalo's a bunch of chokers. They can't
We're
win
going
at
back
home.
to Boston.
Yep.
Yeah, choke
So
artists.
two teams. You know what?
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
take
baby.
it. Two teams tonight couldn't close out a series at home. One of them being the Buffalo
Massive.
Sabres. That
It's gonna be
allows
a
the
massive
Bruins.
Thursday night. You know what? I'm going to try to go to that game.
Yeah, and let's get Higgins back into this one. What do we think about that? Okay.
We're getting the ice ready right now.
That's right. Get the bull gang out there. The bull gang's
As for
getting
the super
called right
chats,
now. Okay.
We'll get back into it. Hey, John, I know you had Sixers in 6. Did you expect Jimmy put this one up here already? I did. I think that this is very characteristic
John's watched
for
too
them.
much of this team over the years.
We've watched too much. You see it. Things follow patterns sometimes. You see it, right? It's not shocking. Amazing M can't afford another close game against his team. Embiid is walking us down now. Anyone else missing Horford? Ah, interesting. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Horford, fine. Anyone else missing Simons right now?
I think Vucevic has been solid.
Don't do it, John.
I'm not going to do it.
Whenever the shots don't go down, you're always going to be wishing for that extra shooter. But here's the thing, John, and it was the case with the Simons team and this team. You can't play your 5 best guys out there. They were never going to play White, Pritchard, and Simons together.
No, I get it. But having instant offense on the floor at all time stems the tide against. It prevents against a lot of these things.
Playing, I won't oppose
And the way White's playing right now, you're just dying. You're friggin' dying. It's
so
really
weird.
really
I
bad.
have no idea what's going on there.
It's
Bobby,
bad.
is anyone talking to him or reporters? Is he out of the locker room, first guy out? Like, is he in his own head right now? Like, what are you seeing that we're not seeing? Because we're just watching it on TV. We're not in the locker room. We're not in pregame or postgame. Like, what's going on with the guy?
Yeah, I mean, they try not to say too much to him. I mean, it's gotta be on him. I mean, that's what he says every time is I gotta play better. And I think the concerning thing is last 2 games, he just hasn't shot much. And he's like 3-4 shots in these first halves, and that's it. He's been boxed out of this offense. And I know he does all these other things we always talk about, but when you get to that point, that's where you do get concerned about, as John said earlier in the show, him getting ignored out there. So I have no idea. It doesn't seem like it's physical. I know he banged the knee late in the year against San Antonio. He's just way off right now, and it does seem to be all mental.
He is.
The misses are bad. The back rim from the corner, off the backboard at one point in the second half. They were all over the place.
All right, let's rip through a few more of these in the Mazzulla era. Epic. PLNC1 in the Mazzulla era. I trust the Celtics more on the road than at home. Sure, absolutely. John, our buddy, they couldn't buy a bucket. Bobby didn't want to hear it 2 weeks ago, but they will not win 19 with Derek White doing this. We were just talking about it. Doesn't need to shoot 40, but you need big ones. Can't brick 2 corner threes, killers. And John, yeah, we talked about.
I know you make those, it's all better.
Everything is better there. Absolutely. Eric coming back. Hey, Jimmy, it's not concern. It's frustration. I can see that. I agree. And more Jordan Walsh, please. What's his plus minus? Where's Hugo? Hugo, we'll see you next year. We'll see you in Vegas.
Yeah, Hugo's not going to be playing.
Yep, that's where we'll see Hugo.
Problem with Walsh again. I mean, yeah.
Thank you
it's
guys
offense.
again for the super
Same
chats.
problem you have with-
STK7778. Thank you very much, guys. Go ahead, Jimmy.
It's offense, Jimmy.
With Walsh, I mean, sure, if Walsh could score regularly, he'd be out in there. Trust me, because he already showed you what he can do defensively last game. It's just more. It's a consistency on offense thing. But again, he can't be worse offensively than White right now. I mean, he can hit a corner 3. He's done that.
No, I mean, you have to start. And we gave Joe a lot of credit game 3, right? Because White's out there for the offensive rebounds late. But you didn't get shots from him late in that game. So you are at the point where you're going to have to mix and match there. And we said it about the center position. We said it about some other spots going into the playoffs with Joe change there if needed. And now we're talking about it with White, which is unexpected, but it still puts him to the test there. Is he going to get away from White here if that's the right move? And at the moment, it looks like no. Maybe they'll prove correct and he goes off in game 6. But tonight it cost you. You absolutely needed someone else out there down the stretch.
I have officially reached a point I never thought I would reach with Derek White. I just have always I ignored the shooting during the year because I said at any point in time he can just get hot again, get back to being 40% and be all right. I think it's
You know what's the problem, John? He got to the free throw line in the first half, and I'm looking at the numbers. He hadn't shot a free throw since game 3. He had like 4 total in the whole series going into tonight. All he does is shoot threes. I don't know, like Joe's not going to answer it, but why does he only take threes now?
Well, he opened the game with a floater.
Offense. Yeah, and that's great. And they, ran some pick and rolls.
He used to do that.
Game. Like,
He
yeah,
used to-
he's
he
a
used
guy
to
who
be
gets
everywhere.
downhill. He has a floater. He can finish off balance. Like, he can play inside the arc. I'm seeing him shooting in some of these, shoot arounds practices, Jimmy, and he's just banging mid-range after mid-range. But on this team, maybe his role or whatever they want from him,
he
took
been
the 8th most
holidayed.
threes in the league.
Yeah, this was the shot I was talking about at the end of the third quarter, where Pritchard had an opportunity to score, or they could have figured out a way to get Pritchard the shot. He ended up getting the ball and he gave it to Walsh in the corner for a horrible corner three. I will say. So
There's some ugly shots. White hit the side of the backboard on a three.
Yeah.
Tatum hit the side of the backboard on a 3-point attempt. There were some
his was far
grisly attempts at the basket here, but the Derek White stuff, I don't know that look, I love him, but I think he's in his head. Mo is the only guy who watches an entire game from another team. He goes and watches his team and then jumps on a different post game of two completely different teams.
Knicks don't have a show like this. That's the problem.
Somehow Celtics more panicked than the Knicks right
No,
now.
Mo, we'll be there. We'll be there. We're just going to be a little delayed, but we will be there. I promise.
Hey, we're still
We'll
on
get
track
there.
for Saturday, game 1.
Saturday, game 1. And like I said,
Celtics,
Bobby, I'm
Knicks
going
take
this
care of
time. I'm
business.
going to New York.
All right.
Well,
that's in Boston, but
yeah.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So if both teams win Thursday,
We're playing Saturday.
Game on Saturday. Okay. Be nice
That's
to get
it,
like
huh?
a nice.
I would think.
Be nice to get a nice 1:00 on Saturday, a little matinee action.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll kick them to Sunday, give them 2 days off. I don't know. That's where the game 7
Bobby,
is good.
let me before I ask you about game 6 and any adjustments, I got to give a shout out, and again I got to get the names right here. We got nope, not this.
Yeah, we can do that again. Why not?
No, we got this. I don't know what this is.
Oh, God.
Hey,
this is Gelso and his two. Gelso is on another cruise because that's what you do when you own the company. You just cruise around, I guess. And he
and his two valets. Yeah.
He has met some Celtics fans from the Philippines who he claims are huge fans of the show. And he also claims want the shirt that he's wearing, the CLNS polo shirt that he's wearing. I don't even think we sell that shirt.
that's
but
exclusive.
I told Nick, send him to the merch store, use the code GAPYEAR, 30% off. And hopefully they go into
anyway,
these guys
thanks
are
for
watching, Nick.
These guys are from Norwegian Aqua Cruise Line. It's Nico and Dan. They claim they saw Nick's shirt. Nick wears it everywhere, and he's like, "Hey guys, do you know this?" And if, some people are like, "No, but I'll humor you." And so these guys just pretended they watched the show, so Nick would tip them well. No, they're fans. They're legitimate fans.
Classic hotel guy who wants to make you feel at home and all that stuff. They're doing their job well.
Nico and Dan, they are legitimate Garden Report fans. They had knowledge. They knew what they were doing. Nick's out there.
All right.
And yeah. So
We
that's
won't-
it.
we
And
won't give Nick's coordinates.
He
We won't
wears
give
it
Nick's coordinates.
We don't have it on the merch store, but we've got CLNS pajamas. Nick wears those, slippers, robes. Everywhere he goes, Nick's going around on the cruise with the CLNS robe on.
Love it.
He's got
Promoting.
CLNS cigars.
Hopefully he's got his eye mask out there.
Yeah. So shout out to those guys. Bobby, let's get into it a little bit. Game 6. Again, you could say adjustments, but it does feel like it's been such a make-miss series here. But did Philly figure anything out that should give you pause if you're a Celtics fan or if you're Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah, I mean, the offensive stuff is obvious, right? They got to, make shots, and that's probably going to go better next time around here. But
Correct.
Defensively, they got to figure out the Embiid Maxey two-man game, because I feel like in the last game, it was a lot of Embiid just facing the defense straight up and trying to attack head on. They ran some good stuff, those two in motion, and Embiid able to get into some open space close to the basket off Maxey, and vice versa, Maxey moving off him. So the off-ball defense has got to be better. They're probably going to want to switch a little bit and help when Embiid is, lining up a smaller defender. And like I said, I'd go to that Tatum lineup. You've been calling for it all year, John. I think this is the time. They probably believe Tatum can do a decent job on Embiid. Like it's not like
what does
Vucevic
what does
Tatum
what
shutting
does
him down.
Embiid do defensively against that lineup? Where does he go? He's got a
Right,
guard.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
gonna put him into some space, and
You'll
he's
put
probably
him
gonna
in
be on
space?
Tatum, and Tatum's been able to attack him well in the past. So. Yeah, I mean, a big
Jimmy.
reason you struggled offensively in the fourth beyond just missing shots is you couldn't get to the basket against him planted down there. So you got to find some way to crack that open.
Jimmy,
What?
as a vertically challenged guy yourself, is Nick Gelso 5'8"?
No, I read that in the chat. I'm not gonna.
Short
comment on
people
it.
don't
I'm not
call
gonna
out other short
comment on
people,
height.
right?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Gonna comment on height. I mean, John,
Jimmy's no comment.
you're the 5. I thought
I'm
you were
5.
the 5.
If I'm
guy in
5'5",
this show.
Gelso's 4'9". Okay, I'll tell you that.
That's the rumor.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah,
think,
he's
John?
5'8" in your bra.
In your bra. I think, Bobby, as I've kind of said, is I don't believe I believe that honestly that last game the Celtics played was as good as they can play. And when you see them play that way, you're like, wow, who's going to beat this team? But then you see them play like this, and it starts to creep back in that they are a beatable team, right? They're not good enough to cruise against any team in the playoffs. So they've got to be playing not just with effort. You know, past teams we've always criticized for effort. This team's about kind of sticking to their game plan, executing, doing what they do best. And when things don't go well, to not devolve into iso ball or slumping shoulders and not getting back on defense, like their worst traits tend to come out. So you don't want to flat out call them front runners because they've had some tough wins, but I really did believe that teams would make it a lot harder on them in the postseason than really anything they faced for most of the regular season. I do think that they just exerted their will on people, out-efforted people, just played harder, smarter, and kind of had their way, in a lot of games.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that was going to happen here. There's no real dogs. When you drew Philly, and especially if Embiid came back, I didn't think this team was a dog. I thought there's some depth issues here, but I thought there's enough players here and enough athletes to make this to be a competitive series. And as soon as you get into round 2, everything's a coin flip from this point forward. Are they a favorite? Sure, but a 55-45 favorite.
I don't know
not
if they'd
an
be a favorite over
overwhel-
New York.
They would be, but a moderate one, meaning a loss wouldn't be shocking. It's not like 2 years ago where it would have been shocking if they lost any series.
Right.
They're not that team. They are good. And I think their best game is better than anybody else's best game, but they're a beatable team. So you gotta be careful there,
Yeah, and I think one thing that shocks me from this series is how badly they've turned the ball over and just have struggled to maintain ball control, because that's been their best trait all season, is protecting the basketball. And all of these perimeter defenders have knocked them off it. They've had some sloppy moments, and the turnover rate has spiked in this series. And Philly's good at that. I think they're one of the better teams in the league at forcing turnovers, but that's something you absolutely have to have. When you, like you said, John, the margin for error is so small. You are such a jump shot reliant team that you can't turn the ball over. You have to be taking advantage of your second chance points. And those have been there in this series. They're still grabbing offensive rebounds at a high rate here. And I like to see that translate to the playoffs. But you need to be the team that's in control of the possession battle, the pace. Everything needs to go your way in all the small areas, because we said it all year. They're not going to – I mean, they have in this series, right? 2 of your wins have been nights where you've hit 23. So – it's nice to see that they've shown a shooting upside that we didn't quite see all year in this series. But on the nights that you don't have it, 2 in a bad way here, you haven't been able to get to much else to be able to win. And specifically the defense. Your defense has been bad on the nights where your shot hasn't been there. You haven't been able to lean on that. And that makes me think of 2023, John, and 2025 last year. Those are years where, yes, you had the shooting highs, but did you have the defense you can lean on? I felt good about it coming into the playoffs. But for a lot of the year, their defense did fluctuate, and maybe that's something we should have thought a little bit more about coming in the playoffs here, especially with the centers that they have on the roster and how they've struggled at times in that position.
Yep, no doubt about it. And Nick thinks that a license is an official document of your height. Leave
Nick alone. Leave Nick alone. He's on
In order
vacation.
to enter your height on your driver's license, a doctor has to be present, and then they record it. Okay, no one's ever lied about their height on a You know what was funny? You see that baseball, thing this year with the strike zone. Everybody had to register their actual height, and a bunch of guys came in like 3 and 4 inches shorter than they're listed. 6'2" down to 5'10". That's tough. So Nick, if you want an honest strike zone, buddy, you better come clean here because
Nick, just back to vacation for you, man. You don't want to watch the rest of the show, man.
He's good. He's good. Guys, we'll keep it short-ish tonight because it is a loss, and again, I want to go watch some of the Bruins post-game. And that's fine. We'll be back on Thursday. Bobby's going to head out there for game 5. Closing thoughts here. And again, everyone's expecting rage. It's not rage, but it is frustration that it kind of went this way. You really did want to wrap it up. Yeah. We did.
They've done this too many times over the years. And like I said, this team, Jimmy, has bounced back quickly from these kinds of losses. So I'm not concerned about game 6. The commenter there put it well. It's frustration.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, John, I know that you are the producer here, but I got to do it. We don't get to do it that much. So, Bobby, you're basically saying that you're the Noah side of things here?
Yeah, for this series, like, again, I don't think any of us think they're going to blow this series, right? So I'm at like a 3 for that. As far as the playoffs go, all of us sitting here and saying they're East favorites now and they look like they're going to breeze through the East. This series gives you pause about that. Like, there are enough weaknesses here that I did. I guess I'll just stand alone on that one, but there's enough.
There's no breezing. There's no breezing. That's what I've always said. There's no breezing.
Yeah.
Forget
breeze.
Breezing.
It's just, are they going to win
these?
Yeah.
They're favorites, but slight favorites. And it's so funny, we did see the little earthquake. It was a funny little storyline for a bit, right, Bobby? Because the earthquake the Celtics deep bench guys caused by setting the playoff matchups in motion could have possibly resulted in both the Knicks and the Pistons being eliminated. It looks like the Knicks have righted the ship, but that's not going to happen. But the Pistons very much in jeopardy of being knocked out to the 8th seed here, Orlando, and that's just because of that Orlando loss late in the year. That would have really been something here. That would have been something.
Yeah, no, you put a lot of work in to give yourself a good path here.
Jimmy,
now, New York round 2 is still difficult, so I have
Jimmy,
concerns
where are
from
you?
the series about that.
Where are you on your series panic and your playoff panic? They're 2 different panic meters.
I'm probably at 11 o'clock. So I'm slightly.
I thought 11 out of 10.
No, 11 o'clock. So I'm slightly to the left of the middle here, right? So maybe I'm in the middle.
Just use the 1 through 10 scale, like everybody understands. Like
5.
a 6. Okay.
I'm 5.
So you're square in the middle.
11 o'clock.
Yeah, like look at a clock, because I was gonna put myself at a 4. I guess I could have said, but I'm at 5.
11 o'clock is short of 50%. Yeah.
I'm at 5 because listen, I think right now the way they played tonight, they lose to the Knicks in the next series, right?
Yep.
They can probably get by beating the Sixers even by playing somewhat similar to how they played tonight. Just don't be god awful in the fourth quarter. You probably can still get past the Sixers, but I don't think the Knicks are going to let you do that. So you do have to play better against the Knicks more consistently. John, are you going to just giggle through my whole take?
11 o'clock is killing me.
I thought you were saying 11 out of 10, John.
11
boom, off the meter.
The panic meter is a half of a circle. So
I get it.
Hands on the clock.
And I am at Mach 3 right now in my panic meter.
Where are you on the barometer?
Yeah, about 65 degrees right now.
My dew point is
the wind chill is making it a little more nerve-wracking.
Oh my god. I
thought Jimmy was exploding off the meter at 11. I was like,
perfect
whoa.
way to describe it on the meter.
Bobby went first and he gave a number. And you've just come in with 11 o'clock.
That's why when he said 11, I was like, what?
I'm going by the meter. The meter doesn't have numbers on it. Okay, everybody?
He went from the hottest take ever to modest.
The meter that we showed is not numbered, so I didn't want to give a number.
11 o'clock's in the bracket next year.
What time are you at, John?
Yeah.
So I hate, like, it'll sound I don't mean to sound this way.
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
do.
No, because I don't want to sound like, oh, I knew it. I'm not super surprised that they would struggle a little. Again, I had 6. I don't think they're an invincible team. I don't think they're invincible. However, there are some things. Again, I've said this in every, because right now they've played 5 games. The 2 losses were bad, and 1 win I didn't love either. So 3 times we've kind of had a negative take off of after a game. And in each case, we've talked about that checklist of shit that bothered us or shit that worried us. And it involved the bench not being there when you needed it. It involved Derek White's shooting struggles. It involved the bigs and the big man rotation and whether you can trust them here. And it involved guys like Hauser and Pritchard stepping up when you as like real they're both, like if Pritchard's not a starter, but that's your top 6 there. Is that, and in all of the losses, you've not felt great about a lot of those things, and like seeing it against what the weakest team you're going to face in the postseason if you advance and get further.
A lot of yapping. Where are you on the man?
Worries me. It magnifies my concern, which existed to an extent. So I'm at about, what do we want to call it? I'll go 11:01, Jimmy. Okay, I'm just a little past you. Okay. I'm 40. I'm 47 degrees worried.
Well, you guys bullied me into technically you bullied me into 12 o'clock, so I'm currently at 12 o'clock.
Again, there's 2 things here. One's the concern about the series. 2's the concern about the bigger picture. Because we at least, regardless of how you felt, John, about them winning the East, we felt like they had bigger aspirations in round 1. So
yes,
that's the concern here.
Yeah. So that's my thing. The things that I was, like I said, I'm not worried. The things I was concerned with now worry me, if that makes sense. Like, because you're seeing it, it's like, oh, there might have been cause for concern, and you don't like to see that. You don't like to see that. There's a lot of people at about 11 o'clock right now. So yeah, and this is a great comment.
It's 11 o'clock right now.
The Celtics are both beatable and unbeatable. After last game, all NBA pundits were like, no team in the East can match this level. That's what they look like. Like, who can do what they can do? When you've got Tatum playing the way that he's playing and they're flowing that way and people are hitting shots and Pritchard's hot, you look at it, it's like, no one can match this level. And then they just look like dog shit on a night like this. And you see a team kind of bully them and take them out of their game and out physical them and then just go ice cold and entirely relying on the 3. And not hitting shots, and they just look bad when they play like this. And so they do look very beatable and unbeatable at the same time. It's weird.
And I'll give a little more credit to Philly than I did coming into the series. I didn't take them very seriously. They're not a team that beat many good teams throughout the season. Even with Embiid, it's not a spectacular unit.
Yeah.
I felt like I texted you early in this game. They play below the sum of their parts. It's an impressive roster on paper that just plays at a play-in level. So I think a lot of stuff they've done throughout the series has just made you think like, they're running gimmicky defense and just bombs away from 3 to try to stay up. That's how they got back in this game tonight. The fourth's concerning because you're playing mano-a-mano at that point, and Embiid's able to get shots and you're not. So you look at that specifically, and Embiid coming back in this series was always the thing that could make you lose it, right? That gave them enough upside to say, all right, they're here on your level. But they were playing at your level to some degree even before that happened, and that surprised me because, again, I had a sweep coming in. So either I didn't take them seriously enough or the Celtics are playing down to their level a little bit here. It's probably a little bit of both.
No doubt about it. We want to point out that if you're in Boston, you want to play the Knicks, and the Knicks certainly want to play Boston. And yeah, Mo, absolutely, I understand that you want Boston. You want Boston, and I'm going to put it up here now one more time. We'll let you know we had these things ready to go for tonight. Ready to go. Okay.
They're still ready to go.
Boston t-shirts. They're still ready to go. You can order it right now. Shop.clnsmedia.com. In addition to a bunch of other things on our merch store, new hard hats are coming. You can pre-order those as well. You got Boston t-shirts because what did we think was going to happen tonight? A win and a chant. You got Boston, and look at us ready with our t-shirt. So Mo, I'll tell you this. If the Knicks and the Celtics play one another, okay? If the Knicks and the Celtics play one another and the Knicks win, I will send you one of these. If the Celtics win, you got to buy one. Okay? Deal?
It's fair. He's going to buy one. 30% off right now, though, folks. It might not last forever. So if you want to get you got Boston shirt, get it now so you can wear it for when the opponent gets Boston.
Yeah. So check it out. Mo says deal. It's a deal. We'll send it to you. I promise. I'll be holding on to it and I'll hand deliver it to you if they lose on your home court.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap. We want to just in a minute. We want to let you know a couple different things. Check out You Got Boston. We're gonna drop that tonight after the Garden Report. That'll be ready for you first thing in the morning, or if you want to be up late, you can absolutely catch it. Celtics Daily. Bobby's gonna have an off day podcast talking about kind of what went on here. You can definitely check that out before he heads off to Philly for Thursday's Game 6. No question about that. And last shout out to our pals at PrizePicks, #1 daily fantasy sports picks app out there. Play 5, get 50 in your lineups when you download the app. Use code CLNS. It is that easy. Jimmy and I, it was bad. We're not going to talk about it again. It's not that easy. It's easy to play. Okay.
Yeah, it is easy to play.
And for some people, when they play it smart and safe, it's not
like charade.
Sherrod. Mike Cadlick takes 2 green goblins Sherrod takes 2 green goblins. He's like, I did it. I'm like, no shit, you did.
Yeah, you won.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you won $2.50 straight.
Yeah, you could play it conservatively. But for those 2 other things, we want to let you know. If you want Bruins talk, right now it's happening.
I'm
Bruins
going
Postgame,
over there
They
after
beat the
this game.
Sabres. You can check that out. That's happening right now. But if you want more basketball talk, check out these guys. Our friends first to the floor, Jake Spooney and Ben Vallis are doing the Celtics late night right after this game. So more basketball talk. You want to vent a little bit more, head over and listen to those guys. That's going to be going up as soon as the Garden Report ends, which honestly is right now. We're going to wrap it up. Make sure to follow Bobby Benning, CLNSmedia.com. We're getting ready for Philly. We'll be back here on Thursday for Game 6. Full house.
Thursday. I'll be here. I need a win.
Looking forward to it, okay? Check it out. Thanks, guys, again for hanging out. Celtics go down. It happens. It happens. Frustrated, concerned, still not worried. Celtics fall 113-97. They still lead the series 3-2.
Not worried.
Not worried. Headed
Philly,
to Philly.
It's still Philly. It's still the Sixers. You don't lose to the Sixers.
Yeah. No
Especially in
doubt. No
Philly.
doubt. Anyway, thank you guys again for hanging out with us tonight. We always appreciate it. It was fun in the chat. Having you guys participate and being part of it all. As always, we can't wait until we see you on Thursday, but the Celtics can hopefully close this thing out. Until then, see you later. Bye.